All right, everyone. In this live session, I'm going to be talking about how I started my IT career and my story, basically. So people can ask me questions on, you know, my story and stuff like that. I'm sure I'm no guru or no, I don't have any special thing to share, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that even follow me right now would like to know, okay, what kind of education have you done? What type of training have you done? All that kind of stuff. So maybe this might be helpful for some people. So I will basically kind of go over some of the things like I did throughout my career. Where did I started? How did I came? How did I start my whole career? Right. I'm sure there's a story behind every single person. Welcome. Hey, Haifa. How are you? By the way, if anyone wants to join this live, you're more than welcome. If you guys want to join it, I can give you the Zoom, link and a password. So anybody who wants to join in, they can join in. Um, so how did I start? I mean, where did I actually started my whole career basically? Like where did it started? So basically, going back to my personal life, I was in Pakistan and I was in 10th grade. And in 10th grade, we were given a decision to either go to the medical field or either go to the computer science field. And at that time, I had no interest in IT. So for me, I didn't wanted to get away. I wanted to get away from technology. So I wanted to get away from technology. Sorry, no, I wanted to get away from medical stuff, not technology. I wanted to get away from medical stuff because a lot of people in that in Pakistan or specifically India, a lot of parents would at that time think that hey, if you're not going to a medical field, then you're just wasting your time. And that's kind of mentality over there. That's why you have so many Indian doctors, and that's kind of like the mindset of that. And but I'm not from India. That's I'm just saying maybe that's the same thing over there too. But in Pakistan, I think that's the same mentality too. If you're not going for a doctor type of positions and careers, and you're basically wasting your time. So hey, Haifa, how are you? If you want to join, let me know. I can let me just post that. There's anybody who wants to join in, they can just join with me right now. It's going to be interesting because if you guys have any questions or maybe share your story, let me do this right now. Copy URL here. I'm just going to post it right here. So if anybody wants to join in, you're more than welcome to join in. And 601258. 601258. There you go. So okay, going back, and so I made a decision that I'm gonna go and basically I'm going to go ahead and start my computer science career. And that's where the first class that I took was on DOS. Um, so when I looked at the computers, the white big computers, there was like big screens out there, big keyboards and everything. When I looked at it, it was amazing to me because for the first time in my life, I basically I basically kind of like um, did something for with me, like I saw something that is so different than I was never used to. Like we didn't have computers at home. So we didn't have a computers. Welcome. Hi, how are you? um, so let me see if everything is working correctly. So yeah, we like we that's kind of like the situation was at that time. And when I started that, and I was like so amazed with the technology. I was like, wow, you can do this, you can do that. And the only time I would go to the lab is because of the games, right? They had some games that back then, and I would just go there and just play around with the games, and I kind of liked that, right? I wanted to kind of like spend my time that way. It's not because I wanted to learn about DOS. It's those for me at that time it was still boring, right? The teacher was saying things, I would do this command, do that command. I had no clue what he was talking about. So I just wanted to go and just play on the games. So long story short, because my dad was in the US and there's a long time my dad was in the US, we didn't see each other for a long, long time. So I was that's my personal stuff right now. I was kind of brought up with my mom. So like my mom is kind of like the person that I looked at because my dad was kind of like away and he was here. It's just that naturally he was not there like when I because when I when a young kid is growing and they're like around 7 years old to 17, 16, and if they don't have a connection with another person who is going to be the head of the household, then it's really hard to adjust later on. So it's not nothing wrong. It's just that, of course, I that's what it is, right? That's the reality. So sudden shift happened in our life. We moved from Pakistan to US, and that's after 10th grade. And in 10th grade, I kind of remember that I was sitting with my friend. It was like a little, it's like a little, area with water flowing in. And he was so worried about the exam, and that was a metric exam that we called it there. And I was like, man, I don't care. I was like, why you don't care? I was like, this is your biggest exam in your life. This is what you're gonna be taking these marks with you, numbers with you, and you will be showing it to the whole world after that. I'm like, I don't care because when I go to US, I feel like these things will not matter anymore. So I kind of throw my book into that little water area, and I just kind of left. And it was amazing because when I did that, after that, I realized, man, I should have actually read some of those stuff. So that's the first mistake I did was that. Hey, go. So that's the first mistake that I did. I kind of threw the book in the water, didn't read anything, and just left. And then after that, of course, I got the marks. It was pretty bad, and did pass. I passed it, but came to US. Okay, long story short, I came to US, and the first place that I went is New York. Okay, so I went to New York, and the first thing I saw was that, man, this is life right here. Like so it was like my friends, my dad's friend's house, and they had a construction company. They were very rich, and at that time, you're talking about, let's say, go back to like 2003. The guy who was at my age was driving Mustang, so he was driving Mustang and Mercedes at that time, my age. At that time, 2000, we were talking about 2003. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to be doing this. I came to the place where I was always thinking about the movies, right? In Pakistan, I was thinking about, yeah, I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to have fun and everything. And that seems to kind of like worked out pretty nice. Like I was like in it, right? And we sat in the Mustang, we sat in the Mercedes car, and we were just like different areas. I was enjoying it at that time. So I had only a few days over there. Then I got a call from my, because I was like, they're talking to my dad. I was like, where's my dad working? My dad was like, yeah, you guys gonna come to Maryland. Cause so how about after 1 week, get ready, get your stuff ready. I was like, whoa, I'm leaving this house. This is a pretty nice house. I'm gonna be leaving this. And but still I had a mind that maybe when I go to a new house, then this means I'm gonna have a same things. And I was happy. All right. So I came to the new house. And the new house is an apartment. All right, now things are getting a little bit reality check is getting slapping me right now. I'm like, okay, that house was pretty big. This is an apartment. It's a very small, one single, single space apartment. Like you have only one kitchen, two rooms, and my room was in front of the kitchen. And it was not a room. It was like a bed, right, in front of the kitchen. So, and that's where kind of reality started to get in check. Like my mind was like, oh wow, okay, things are getting more real now. And I was young too at that time, right? I was wanting to have fun. I mean, I wanted to get out and just have fun, like go out and just enjoy my life. So the next day, my dad was like, look, you got to work over here. This is US. This is not Pakistan, right? In Pakistan, the mentality is that your dad is working and the whole family is eating. Your brother's working, the whole family is eating. Maybe things are changing right now, but that's kind of like the normal way of joint family thing works over there. So my dad was like, look, if you're in the US right now, everybody had to work. You're about 16, 17, and I have a place that you can work. I'm like, oh wow. I mean, I don't even know these people. Like, first of all, when I look at these people, they're very different, right? Because I was used to living in a society where everybody's same color, maybe little differences, but same language, right? Same culture, everything's same. So now I'm in the culture where everything is so different, totally different, right? Some people are white, some people are black, some people are brown, some people are light, whatever it is, right? It's different for me. So that's the reality. It was different. So like, my mind wasn't taking it like, like, okay, I'm too scared to talk to these people. I don't know what to talk to these people, even though I knew English, I could speak it, but it's something that I couldn't even if I knew English, it doesn't mean that I was able to communicate with people. So the confidence was like zero, like this much, like zero, right? And that's where my dad sent me to a restaurant job. So culture shock. There you go. However. So culture shock was there, and that's where my dad sent me to the restaurant. And the restaurant job was what? A busboy, right? I went in there. I saw this nice in DC. People may remember. I think it's called Taverna now, but it was used to be forgot the name, but it's a Turkish restaurant. It was a Turkish restaurant. So I went in there. It was a Turkish manager, and I told him, hey, you know, my dad, he sent me. And he said, yeah, I know your dad because your brothers also kind of came here. My brother kind of like, my brothers were actually waiters. They were really good at speaking and everything. So, but he's like, no, I think you were going to start with the busboy, and then we'll talk about it later on if you what you want to do. And I was pretty young at that time, so I started working over there. And so first culture shock. Now the second is me working. Never happened in my life because I was always used to, hey, food on my table. My mom cooks for me, everything's done, nice food done, no problem. And the mentality of busboys in Pakistan is like you're living a life like a king over there, king in a way that everything is provided to you. Here you're putting water for people. That little bit of that other side also kicks in, right? I would call this negative in a way that we were not used to this, right? We were not used to serving water to other people, right? Or they're going to say something to me, hey, put some water back, or blah, blah, blah. Or somebody else will say, hey, you didn't clean a table, right? So to me, that was a little bit of kind of like a shock in itself, too. So that's another area of that because that's how nothing wrong. It's just that how the things work over there, right? So my mind wasn't adjusting to nothing in US. To me, US was becoming a pretty a bad decision for me, to be honest. And I got stressed pretty much because I couldn't take metro correctly. I didn't understand the whole how it works and just throw it like there. You gotta go do the job right there. So I went in there and I started doing my job. So one day, second day, third day, okay, I'm getting better now. I'm getting better. So experience is teaching me now. This is nobody else is teaching me anything right now. Natural, what's happening to me is teaching me right now. Natural stuff is teaching me right now. This is experience. And I'm experiencing it. I'm coming back. I'm stressed. I'm going back. I'm coming back. I'm stressed. I'm going back. So this is where I kind of had enough, you know. So I went into the busboy job basically ended pretty bad. I got fired in a way that because I started cussing out the manager. He one day told me that you're not working correctly. You're not working like other people. And I was sweating that in front of everybody. He kind of disrespected me. So I don't know if you guys know in Arabic when you say sharmuta, it's me like son of a bitch. I guess maybe that's Haifa might know that, right? So I called the Turkish guy Sharmuda, and then he immediately told me that I'm gonna talk to your dad. How can you call me this? And I throw the whole thing like the little cover on it. I just throw it on top of him and I left in front because he disrespected me in front of people. And I don't take that kind of that's just naturally in me that I as a human being do not take disrespect from anybody. It just even if I lose my job, I don't care. So I kind of did that, got fired, and then came back. And after a few days, my dad was like, "Okay, what happened?" And I was like, "That's what happened, right?" He's like, "Okay, you did okay." I mean, he was kind of like this. So my dad told me, "Okay, you still can't sit like this, right? You still have to do work." So he went he went to oh, okay, somebody says it means even worse than that. Thank you. Oh, okay. So it means even worse than that. So I can even see his anger even more now because somebody just texted me. So here's the thing: what happened after that? I started. My dad actually went back again. I mean, he's the person who got me jobs basically. So he went into like, so you still can't sit in your home like this. You still have to do work. And I'm like, man, this. I mean, what's going on over here? I don't like this, right? I don't want to work like this. Again, he got a he got a he got a I'm seeing the comment right now. I'll correct it. So then he got me this job in a Saturn. I don't know if you guys remember Saturn is out of the business now. Saturn, it was a car company, just like Dodge. It's American Saturn company, right? So he got me a receptionist job, and he came home. He's like, "Hey, I got you a job, another job." I was like, "What job?" It's like receptionist. I'm like, I even have a problem talking to people. How can I even go and do a receptionist job? Like this is like the front person, the first person to be taking up a call, to be doing everything. And that even scared the hell out of me. So what I did, I kind of refused to go. So my dad got really angry and I left the house. So I left the house that night. I went outside. I'm like, I'm leaving US. I'm going back. So I left it. I was really like young at that time. So I took a bag and put some fruits in my bag and just kind of left. Maybe I'm like, that's the way people leave house. So I left the house so it was like few hours later, rain started and I went to the park. In the park, there was a little bit shade in there. So I went inside the shade and I started sleeping over there. And now the night basically came in. And to be honest, I was like, what the hell, man? This is not how it's supposed to be, you know? And the funny story in this is this: I left the house, nobody knew in my house. So I left it. Basically, in my mind, I'm leaving my house, I'm leaving everything. And I had my bag, it was raining. And after that, like after a few hours, it looks like 3 a.m., right? I still stayed in there. I still stayed in there. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I gave up, came back home. Came back home, opened the door, and my mom woke up, well, like, she kind of came, hey, okay, so what are you doing? I'm like, yeah. I thought they would be like upset or come and hug me, like, hey, where did you go? We were looking for you. None of that happened. They just basically woke up from their sleep because they were doing prayer. And they told me, hey, Danish, like, okay, are you going for a job, right? 7 a.m. I'm like thinking about, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, what the hell? I just spent so much time outside in the rain. I left my house. People thought that maybe I'm gonna come in and people are gonna be start hugging me and I have some emotions going on and everything. None of that happened. They just woke up for prayer and they just looked at me. They just looked at me and boom, hey Mantis, how are you? I'm gonna take care of you, okay? I'm doing a personal story today. So I left the house and that's what happened basically, right? Like I just kind of came back home and I'm like, no emotions, nothing. And I got shocked again. I'm like, okay, this is not working. Still, I'm gonna go for this job. This is where, to be honest, if you guys are listening to me, this is where my life kind of my life turned around over here. Okay, this is where IT stuff also kind of got involved too. I went in there and I went to Saturn. Okay, it was in Silver Spring, Maryland. So there was a young lady sitting in there. I think it was Yolanda. If she can hear me one day, maybe I'll say thank you to her because she was the first person, another she, by the way, female mom, female, another female. Because I want to give importance to how important females are in our life. So female mom, another female sitting with me as a receptionist. I was scared. I sat down and she's like, well, hey, welcome. This is my name, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. I'll teach you everything. And I'm like, inside, I'm like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Like, you have so many things going on. Who's going to teach me this stuff, right? So the first thing that she told me is this. She's like, if the next call come in, next call rings, you're going to pick up the call and you're going to say these words. Thank you for calling Saturn of Silver Spring. How may I direct your call? Listen, thank you for calling Saturn of Silver Spring. How may I direct your call? Right? That's how she said it. Right? I picked up the call and I was scared of shaking. I was like, thank you for calling Saturn. And I hung up the phone. I basically hung up the phone. She's like, why did you hang up the phone? You could just give it to me. No, no, okay, don't worry about it. I know you're, and I, to be honest, such a small thing, I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it, to be honest. I was, thank you for calling, and I just hung up the phone right there, right? So to be honest, that shows you when a person is stressed, when a person has gone through so much, that shows you what can it do to you. If you are if you're in a battle in your own battle of your in your mind, of confidence battle, because most of these things I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, these people are gonna kill me. These people are gonna be like, they're gonna fire me the first day, and I'm gonna go back, and my dad is gonna be angry again. And it's like, what the hell, I got your job, so I requested a manager. This is where humans comes play a big role in your life, and that's why I started respecting humans as a whole and started sharing stuff with people. And later on, I'll tell you why I did this, because she was the first person to calm me down. So number one, who's there for me right now? Was this my family member? No. Does she know me? No. Does she know me culturally? No. Does she have any connection with me when it comes to religion or anything like that? Hey Sajib, welcome back, bro. Welcome. How are you, bro? So Sajib, I'm doing my story. I'm not sure if you heard me from the beginning. I'm doing my story today. I hope I will hear your story too, because we're all in the same boat, right?
Yeah,
So
I just started listening to you.
okay, so maybe you can. It was a pretty good story, so you should always watch this if you missed this. So I also want Haifa and other people to join in so that we can actually talk to each other because some of the things are we can learn from each other. So it's okay if you were anxious. Look at you now. So here's the thing. I was so worried. She was the first person to tell me, Danish, don't worry about it. These are only simple few words. Try it with me. So she is asking me now. She's offering her help to me. Try it with me. Okay. I'm a user. Call me. I'm saying, okay, thank you for calling Saturn. So when I did it with her, I was fluent, right? I was like, thank you for calling Saturn off, and then maybe a little bit Saturn of Silver Spring. How can I direct your call? And she's like, look, you can do it. You can do it. Just close your eyes and think that other person is me now, right? So now the other person called, another call rang in and everything. So what happened is that I was still stuttering. Thank you for calling. Okay, let me give me 1 second. Okay, so she would take over. She would take over. She would take over. She would take over. And to be honest, the whole day went by like that, and I was still not getting. I mean, I was not still not confident to take the whole call by myself because it was not just by you picking up the call, right? They're gonna ask you, hey, I'm having an issue with my invoice, accounting. Who should I talk? So conversation gets more and more and more. So you got to think about it, right? So here's the thing: when did I got my confidence? This is a key point that I want to give people because this video is not about myself. This video is about what can you take out of my experience and how can you cash on it. Here's the thing. This is the biggest tip that I'm going to give you. She left me alone. She's like, you're not going to learn that way. As long as I'm here, you won't be able to be, you're not going to gain your confidence. So she left. So now who's there now? And I have to pick up a call because managers out there. So she left me. I picked up the call, and that first call that I picked without her, thank you for calling Saturn of Silver Spring. How may I direct your call? Boom. It was so clean. It was so clear that I sat down to myself and I went back home that day and I'm like, this job is the easiest job in the whole world. And for this, I fought with my dad. I upset a lot of people. I even left my house. If that was went a little bit further, maybe I would have gone by that day. Maybe I would have just left the house, right? Maybe if that rain didn't happen that day, or maybe I didn't got a little scared or here, then maybe I would have left the house. I don't know because I was pretty serious because I didn't like the whole U.S. thing. This part of my U.S. side, right? It was not the movie type of lifestyle. It was not about a Mustangs and Mercedes at that time. It was like me doing everything manually, and it was like a crazy life, right? So that is the moment when I got left alone. To be honest, my confidence went from 0 to like 50, like like that. Well, let me take another call. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for calling Saturn of Silver Spring. How may I direct your call? Oh, you want service? Who do you want to talk to? Kevin. Let me talk to you, Kevin. Here you go. Boom. And few technical things I learned there, right? Switching the call, doing like a transferring the call, and there was a computer right in front of me too. So you know now where's the computer? It's kicking in now, right? I had my studies done, DOS stuff like that in computers, and I saw a computer in front of me, and this was a better computer than what I had in Pakistan. So first of all, excitement was there. Like, this computer looks much nicer than the first computer, right? And that's, by the way, not the only computer I had in Pakistan. I had other Pentium 1 and Pentium 1 and 2 for gaming only. And my brother was actually kind of like, controlling that. But that's the gaming part. I'm not going to talk too much about that right now. So, what happened after that is that the confidence basically went from 0 to 50 because of this one thing that I was left alone. So here's my tip for you guys. Do not rely on people all the time. Go to the field yourself. Pick up the book yourself. Do something on your own. Create a lab by yourself. Fail the lab. Go to the interviews and fail it. Reject yourself. Get rejected by some people. Get rejected by humans. If you want to gain confidence, you want to learn from my story, the only way I got confidence is when I got rejected, when I got closer to human beings, when I got to see their reactions. That's it. That's for the confidence. That's it. The only way you can when you talk about confidence, you're only talking about confidence because you're dealing with people. Other than that, what are we talking about confidence? Where's the other confidence? What are you going to some space or aliens or something like that? No, right? You're dealing with people right here. So building a confidence can be only done when you deal with people and when you are alone. When you think that, okay, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm not gonna be relying on anybody else. That doesn't mean you shouldn't ask. That doesn't mean you shouldn't learn. That's a different story. What I'm saying is just in terms of breaking that confidence area, you just need to do that. Okay. So let me just look at some of the, because I'm waiting for the dogs to calm down. Most likely you were too self-conscious about her being there. You didn't want to sound like an amateur. So, and yeah, that's correct, Oscar. Like certain things are correct, but it was also a fear of other people too, right? She was there too, but what about the other people that were calling me? They were more, I was more worried about them than her because I know she's helping me, right? But they are not there to help me. They're there to, hey, you guys just charged me $300 for for this change or that change. I need to know why the hell did you guys charge me this much? People are angry when you don't trust me. You work in dealership, you will find out. And you guys are like, maybe some of you are our clients, and you go to the dealership and they charge you more. I'm sure you guys are angry, right? So you're not thinking that other person may be new or old. Who you don't know. You just care about how much they charged you, which is fine, no problem, right? That's how business works. That's how things work in life. So, long story short, from there on, I started to do a lot of different works after that because my confidence grew. I started doing security job, by the way, because my dad knew a lot of people in security. So I got security job and basically kind of got into that too. So security is another thing where you got more confidence too. Sorry for the noise. We have someone cutting our grass today. So, so here's the thing. So after that, when I started to touch these computers and everything, I'm like, man, do I looked at this person, right? Another person. He was also a receptionist, and he was a receptionist for almost 15 years or something. I looked at another security guard. I was like, okay, how long are you been doing security for? Oh, about like 20 years. Another person came in like 10 years. And then some people came in with these big degrees and everything, and they're like, I'm doing security for like this much, and I had a medical degree in Pakistan. I had a medical this and this. I have this master's in that. I'm like, why are you doing security? Man, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm not gonna make it. And I talked to myself of that time too. I was like, what the hell? Am I gonna be doing this job throughout my life, throughout the whole my life? I'm gonna be doing this stuff. And I look at other people. I'm like, they're enjoying their life. They're sitting there. I'm because my thing was like, I'm doing a pretty manual job versus a person who is not doing a manual job, right? Nothing against people who are doing manual jobs. They can make a lot of money in that too, but that's just not my style, right? I was like, I want to do more of technical job. I want to do more of on a computer, doing something on the computer. So I was looking at that business kind of mentality. So I want to be sitting in an office and I will be working on a computer. That's what I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm not going to be doing this security kind of job throughout my life. That's just too crazy for me. So that is where I started doing research, right? I'm like, okay, what's out there? What kind of certifications out there? Where should I start? So every time I would go online, specifically like sites like not Spiceworks, because Spiceworks was not known to me at that time. I'll go to Google and I'll just like Google like, hey, how do you start IT career? What are the first few things in IT career? What are some common things in IT career and stuff like that? So I kind of got into that, right? I started to learn little by little by little, but none of these searches made sense, by the way. None of these searches were making too much sense to me. Like it was pretty hard for me to even pick up a blog and look at it. And that time blog was not that much too. Like we were talking about 15 years. Like there you go. Like my YouTube video, one of my older video is 10 years ago. And that's when I'm teaching IT, meaning I'm like putting stuff, I'm confident enough to put stuff on YouTube. So think about what happened before that. I was learning a lot of stuff and I'm still learning, right? So think about that when I basically got into that, I didn't have any clue. There was no guidance, and everybody was saying that go for A plus. Then I found out that okay, that is one of the certification that people are going for. A plus. Then so let me show you a few of the books that I was. So long story short, I started my high school in the U.S. In Maryland, and after high school, With my other job, like receptionist job, I was go to high school, come back home, and I would do my receptionist job at evening time. And my managers were pretty cool. They're like, okay, you're a student, you want to learn things. But I told my manager, hey, I want to do something in my IT career. So what my manager showed me that, okay, you can use our computer for your learning too, which I want to say thank you again. Second person in my life that first, that receptionist, now the second one, hey, thank you so much for letting me do that. Because in business, they don't let you do this. They say it on the top right there, no personal use on this computer, but the manager let me do that. So when I went to college, I sat down the first year, I blew it up. I didn't do anything. I just spent it with my friends. I failed a lot of stuff in there. I failed almost the whole English courses, reading course, almost everything. I failed it. I didn't care about it, right? Then I got serious because in college, in a high school in the US, people care about you. People come after you, right? Sajib, I don't know if you've been
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah, yeah.
In college, they don't care. You're paying your money, dude. You want to spend your money? Don't care. You don't want to come to a class? Don't come to a class. I'll give you a bad grade. I don't care about you, right? It's like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, they don't
So
care.
in
The
a
professor, they don't care.
and that's where what happened, Sajib, that in college, when I realized after the first grade that I lost my money, then I got serious that, oh my God, I need to start something, man. This is the money that I was earning in the
Paying for
reception.
it.
It's like, I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't remember if it was $6 or how many dollars that I was making that day, that time. So I'm like, that's my money I'm putting in their college right now, right? I didn't have that kind of money. So of course I had some grants available because we weren't making. I'm not from a rich family, by the way, so we didn't have money like that. So I got financial aid and stuff like that. So I blew that up basically. Almost all of that stuff got blown away. Welcome, Timothy. How are you, bro? So so I kind of like, okay, I went to college, and the first courses that I start taking is this right here, guys. Cabling. So this is where I started my cabling stuff. So, but if you ask me, Danish, did you learn anything from this book? 5%. 95% of this book was not opened by me. I am not that kind of person who will just sit in front of the book. I'm going to open the book and I'm just going to start reading about it. So 5% from this book, I I captured it. Other than that, I didn't know. To be honest, if you open this book today and ask me anything in this book, I can guarantee you I will have no answer for you. No problem. Because I say I don't care about this stuff. Okay, then another book. Now this is not actually a this is not because I forgot that. So there was another book that I started was from CompTIA A plus. It was 10 years ago, like an orange book. I'm sure maybe you guys remember too. It's from Mike Myers, and somebody actually reminded me that day that, hey, do you want to collaborate with Mike Myers? Because I sent him a message and he says that, yeah, if Jobs could share, maybe he doesn't know about it, but if he wants to collaborate, he's open to do that. First of all, I'm nowhere near that person's like I'm nowhere near to be even kind of putting myself comparing with Mike Myers type of legends right there, because I realized then I'm like, Mike Myers, who is this person? And I looked at my book of my first book in college, which was a CompTIA A plus book, and I'm like, oh dude, are you crazy? This guy that I see on YouTube right now, and he has a lot of live sessions going on these days. I looked at it and I was like, man, this person is kind of like the instructor that I was following in my college time. Because college you have another instructor too, but they always use book, right? They use a book that is more known, right? Sajid, like this book by another author that is pretty good at his stuff, right? I'm like, I'm nowhere near to be doing collaboration with Mike Myers, man. It's like don't put me in that spot right there. I haven't answered that today to my one of my students. Like I'm nowhere near because I'm a skills trainer, and Mike Meyer is a is a book author who have written books like for past I don't know how many years. So first of all, I want to say thank you to people like that, and also this is another negative side of these books of this to maybe if my Mike Meyer ever listened to me, is it how badly colleges and universities use your book. To be honest, we were given these books that you guys have done so much hard work, and what we did is page one, page two, page three, blah 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 blah, slide, and we're done. Okay, just do your lab tomorrow. Come back with the lab. Okay, how am I going to learn stuff from this? To be honest, this is where babies were born. And a baby is right in front of you. This baby is, I'm not a baby right now, but this is where we are born basically. I was born because of this uh, way of teaching, because the book is amazing, the knowledge is amazing, but the way it is presented to us in the colleges and universities are not good. They're not good. They are not practical. And I can tell you this because of this platform that I have, 45,000 people, probably 46 now. And so many people come to us because they think the book the book training is not sinking in their head. They need something more real world, or they need a trainer to actually explain these things a little bit better way, right? Rather than just go slide by slide and just give one lab or two and you're done. That doesn't work. Sajid, what do you think about this? Do you really, is that how you feel too, or is this just me?
Yeah. You're right that they don't do any practical at college. In the beginning of the semester, they basically let you buy a book, or you find the book online, and they let you they say to read this chapter or that chapter on the following day, you know.
And that's where things gets really boring, right? Like you're just gonna lose your interest, right?
Yeah, they say to read like two chapter or one chapter in like 2 days, which is not possible. I mean, if you don't know the stuff and you read the stuff and they expect you to know everything by reading.
Yeah.
Especially IT and a technical thing, you cannot get out of by reading or
exactly.
memorizing.
That's how I kind of felt it. So this is where the story basically started with my IT career, because of course I was working in a security place and their labs, I already shared that story. Their labs went down. The engineer actually left. It was a one-man IT shop. There was an IT director. I'm thankful to her. So now let me tell you what, it's a third woman in my life, right? First one was the receptionist who gave me confidence and everything. Of course, my mom is number one, but of course, in my personal, my career life is, these are the people. Then this another IT director, she was a more of a management person. She did know a little bit of technology, but not at kind of like, tech level, right? So she gave me that opportunity that, hey, one of our IT person left. I know you're going for IT person, IT job. Are you going to be doing security job for your life? Now, that was not her. That was the CEO of that company. She was walking by Sajib and she told me that, Danish, do you want to work in security for your life? And I'm like, no, I don't want to work. I want to be in IT. And she's like, okay, so we got some labs.
Okay, so you mean security by security guard or like?
Yeah, security guard. I'm not talking about security job right here, guys.
I was confused.
I was like, whoa, hold on. Did this guy just jump from receptionist to security?
Yeah.
I'm talking about security guard, people. I was not a security IT person, security guard. Like I was young. I was just like doing a 4-hour shift. I was going to college. And I was working out pretty nicely. Maybe one day I'll pull up my picture to show people that, hey, it's true. I was working out pretty heavy, right? So so I was in security for quite a bit. And then this president of the company came to me and she said, hey, we have this labs messed up. You are going to IT for learning. Would you like to give it a try? And I'm like, damn, that's an opportunity right there. So of course I called my brother and everything, and my brother was also in IT, and he's like, yeah, you should definitely take that opportunity.
Was that the time you had to reimage like 100 PC?
Exactly. That is where jobskillshare.org was born, actually. Why was that? Because look, if I would have gotten a job, I would be just like any other person. Oh, I got a job, perfect. I'm just gonna learn what other people are telling me now. I'm gonna go online. People say, go for A+, go for Security Plus, buy this book, buy that book, and then I'm sitting there. Then I'm in that loop, right? I talked about this loop too, like in this learning loop that you can never get out in IT, right? This is where a lot of people are stuck. Like they learn, and they feel like I cannot get out of it, right? And that's how exactly I was, right? I was learning, and nothing is coming out of it. What the hell is going on over here, right? I'm like, I'm not getting anything. I'm like, I'm getting better and better and better, but I'm thinking this is too much. Like, what the hell? I mean, I gotta be focused somehow, right? So if you look at my video, my first video was 10 years old on YouTube, by the way. And it was about a lab. You look at this, I'm talking about labs right here, right? I was managing labs, right?
Yeah.
So the first video has to do something with the lab right there, because it was connecting to me, right? I was managing so many labs at that time that I got experience now. How did I learn that type of experience? Of course, that was just a hectic type of learning, right? You go Today, you got something new in the computer, you research it, you ask somebody else, or you call somebody to help you. And that's the headache type of learning that I did before that. So I kind of, that is where I would say just a manual learning, right? No, I'm not considering that smart learning. That's just you going to the work and you're just learning what you see, but not thinking ahead. Can I learn this a better way or that way or this way? I'm not even thinking anything like that. So the college education that I was doing with this was actually kind of like none of this was matching. So I'm doing the lab stuff over here and I'm learning about A plus on that book, and none of that is working because A plus is nothing to do with labs, right? It doesn't tell you how to manage a student lab. It doesn't
So,
tell you anything.
so that's how I was. That's how I was feeling last year when I was a senior, and I got this internship at the school. And I thought I would get somebody who will teach me stuff. It's an internship, and I went to the school, and I'm the like the main person over there, and nobody else is there. Nobody's teaching me, so I would have to like Google the stuff, how to fix a printer, how to connect a printer, and I was googling everything, and
So you
nothing
that
was nothing
yeah.
was related to the college that I was doing. And my major was IT operation. I was
Mm.
like, I'm not learning none of this stuff at college. What's going on? What am I missing? So I know what you're talking about exactly.
And that's where you are like, if you learn all these things, that becomes your experience, right? Like, okay, I know these, I know
Yeah,
this, I know this. But think about it, there's so many things in your life in IT that you're just start thinking, right? That's where your mind started to think, I need to do more, right?
right,
And
exactly.
I need to go and learn more. And where do I learn these things more? So if you look at my previous video from YouTube,
So
it's
that
basically
that's the question I asked myself. Well, where did I learn all this stuff? Then I first thing I did was Google. Then from Google is YouTube. Then from YouTube I see you. So I was like, well, let me just start listening to this guy, and
so
that's how I
so
got into your website and everything.
exactly. So if you look at it right now, if you look at my old videos, it's based on what you're explaining. Like I did something, then I share something. I did something. So one day in the lab, an instructor came in and they're like, I want to share a file with users very quickly. And at that time, I knew about sharing, but sharing would take more time for me to go and or teach to people, right? So I found out this HTTP file server, which still exists right now, right? So I installed this on one of my machines, and then I drop the file in that machine, and I told every student to go to this link only. So when they went to the link, they downloaded it, right? So they downloaded it and I'm like, wow, I did achieve something, right? So look at this transition right here of my YouTube videos. And this is where, if you look at it, Sajib, this is where I started to talk about more of a career. Because if you look at it, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years
After a
ago,
year,
so
about a
there was
year.
a year, but of course, what about those other years that I was learning, right? There
Right.
was like 3, 4 years in that too, right? Not
Yeah.
in the whole work, but of course, 3, 4 years of my whole college and everything together, right? So if you look at it, so there's a lot of time, there's a lot of gap in there that, of course, I don't know exactly that same timing, but maybe it's less than 3 years because maybe I started quickly and then I realized more quicker, but I will maybe look at it later on. But that is where the 9 years ago, I started to start teaching based on titles, by the way. There's a big difference between someone teaching a book training, which is specifically designed for you getting certified in specific content. And then there's a big difference between a person saying that let me teach you based on a role. A role has to do a lot more than certification. Does that make sense? So a lot of people get confused over there, right? Like, okay, what is the difference between a role certification, role training, and what is the difference between this? Now, this type of training, people, when you back in the days, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you will only get that type of training when anybody do you have any answer? Do you think anything, Sajib? Like, when would you get this type of training, by the way, a role-based training?
I didn't hear your question.
Okay, so basically a lot of people are used to certifications and training, like A plus type of training, right? They'll
Right.
go and do A plus, or they'll go to college, and in the college, what are they focusing on? Exactly same thing, A plus, right?
Right.
They're not teaching something on their own, right? They're teaching the same content, right?
Yeah, they're using books and
Exactly.
PowerPoint
So
or
the
whatever they have.
role-based certification back in the days, you only get this type of training when you landed a job. You see? So there were companies that would offer you trainings after when you land a job, on the job, yes, on the job. And the company will send you to a specific company back in the days, and then they will show you the skills and experience and little bit different things than your certifications. This is called what? Career development training. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I hope it's like, I hope it was like this now. You get a job and then you get trained and everything, but
Yeah.
now you
So
have
that's
to.
that's the old that's how it was. But let me tell you what happened. What happened here? Let me show you something, guys. I want to show you something. I'm not sure, some of you may remember this. This is my brother was also in IT, so of course I'm also relying on my brother. So he never taught me anything directly. By the way, my brother is also not a kind of person who sit. My brother's like, you want to learn, go learn it. You want a resource, I'll give it to you. Go. This is a resource. Go learn it yourself. It's like that, and I like his approach. By the way,
Is that a DVD or CD?
these are CDs. By the way,
CD.
I don't think these are DVDs. Let me check. No, these are DVD. By the way, sorry, correct. Okay, does anybody remember this company, TransSignal? You guys remember this company? Anybody?
No idea.
TransSignal is now bought by who? Pluralsight for a few millions of dollars. TCP/IP networking. Active Directory fundamentals. Now, you guys should start thinking about where my Active Directory skills are coming from, right? Here you go. Ethical Hacker. 2008 network infrastructure. Why I go about infrastructure so much? Whenever I talk and teach, I always talk about infrastructure. Where's that coming from? So
How long are these DVDs? Or
these
the
are about
videos?
3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is where this type of companies got really famous because they were online. They were sending the DVDs, and they basically was like kind of like a from a DVD. You buy a DVD, you get the DVD, and now you take it home, right? So this type of companies were like so famous at that time. Like they just became so famous because everybody was like, okay, wow, this now I can get the same level of training in my home. Hey, well, how that isn't that cool, right? So you see the shift in skills. That's how it started. But the problem with this also is that still these were also focusing on what? On a specific certification: MCD, MCP, MCSA, MCSE, MCDST, MCTS, A plus, blah blah blah. So again, what are we doing over here?
You're learning to get your certification.
Certification again. So this is not gonna have unorthodox type of skills like I'm teaching you guys. Like it's say, oh, let me take my camera. Let me show you this CPU. Let me tell you what happened. What kind of comments did I face 10 years ago? You're teaching stuff from your phone, man. That's just unprofessional, right? Sagit, that was the comments back then, because people were so mentally into professionalism that a person has to come, welcome to TransSignal training. Let me teach you this step 1, 2.0.1. So you see the flow was also like that. Every video you watch, everybody was like that, to be honest, right? So it was like that. People thought that that's professionalism. So I have to hear something like that for me to take that training serious. And that's another part that I kind of catched on. I'm like, that's totally BS, right? So what I did in my training, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. When I teach help desk course, help desk skills, and that course is still available, by the way, today. But before that course is available, I'm going to show you where actually I started teaching. Do anyone of you know, I don't know if Sajid, do you know, where was my first teaching? Where did I start teaching first? Does anybody know? If anybody have a good answer, I'm going to give them toffees.
I don't think I heard that story yet. If I would have heard it, I would know.
Before
Audio.
jobskillshare.com, there was .com before. It's org now, right? It was .com. But before jobskillshare.com, I was teaching somewhere else.
Were you teaching in the school?
No, school is later on. I'll tell you the story of the school too. Anybody? There's a big famous platform that people still are using it right now. They're making a lot of money in that platform. I could have made a lot of money in there too. I probably would have about 100,000 of 60,000 users by now if I was teaching for them. Nope, no, not on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, I started it, by the way, Haifa, but I wasn't teaching a course on YouTube.
Weren't you a member of Spicework, you said?
No, Spicework is not a training platform.
The community.
What is this? Look at this video.
U Academy. Okay.
U Academy, but look at Udemy.
Yeah, Udemy. Yeah. Sorry.
Udemy was my first LMS that I started because I found it to be very easy at that time. And if people remember me from back then, many, many years ago, I had a course, and my first name, my first platform, and where I wanted to give it my name was what? Khan IT Academy. Khan Academy, because I was so impressed by Khan Academy. You guys know him, right? Khan Academy from math. I was so impressed by him because he let me pass my math and my algebra and pre-calculus. He's the one, right? So I was so impressed by Khan that I named my own training Khan IT Academy. But of course, that kind of failed in a way that, okay, I'm like, yeah, I lost my interest. So I started teaching in the Udemy. And when I started teaching in Udemy, I was saying 104 people, but of course I didn't start it with 104 people, right? I started with one user, right? So this blew up pretty quickly. I had about 6,000 people in no time in Udemy. Can you believe that? 6,000 people because of these videos that I was posting on YouTube now. I was posting every video on YouTube that had to do with stuff like that. Now you guys can actually skip some of my videos. Some are funny, like bike videos. I got in an accident, no more bikes. I totally messed up myself, and I'm doing some college stuff, some funny stuff. You guys want to go back, so maybe you guys can check it out. But yeah, they're a little bit funny videos. So I'm gonna quickly cross them because right. So now I'm like going back here, and I'm just talking about some serious stuff, ticketing. Hey, I learned about ticketing, guys. Let's talk about ticketing here. Nobody's teaching about ticketing system. So 6 years ago, I created our own ticketing system course, and I put it in what? Udemy. So you think about it. Udemy at that point, I had 6,000 people. I had a lot of people, to be honest. One email, I would get so many responses. So what happened at that time, the CEO of the Udemy was sending emails directly to people. I still remember his name. I still have his emails. So Sajid, what happened one day? Udemy blew. They got famous, right? And they sent all of these authors or people who are creating courses that, guys, if you're teaching videos on YouTube and you're putting that same video in our course, I was doing the same thing, right? And everybody was doing the same because we don't. I'm not gonna make a video 2 times and download and upload it 2 times, right? So then the guy was like, remove all these videos, upload it back into our platform without any tool, without any automation, without any script. I'm like, are you crazy? I have a course that is hours long. I have done all the flow in it. I have done all that stuff in it, and you're going to tell us that just go and remove it and re-upload it back without you giving us anything, right? So that is where I sat down. Look at this. This is how platforms gets created too, by the way. Because I might not be, we will not have a jobskillshare.org right now if Udemy was lenient or they given us a ability. I would have probably more than 100,000 people right now guaranteed in these type of courses, no problem at all, right? Because Udemy would have made much better job in marketing because I don't do marketing. Does that make sense? I don't do marketing. So here comes a thing. So I am lucky enough that this happened to us. I say, I'm going to take it to myself because I want to share my labs. I want to share my own links. I want to share my own thing. I want to share my own customization. I want to do my own stuff, people. I said, I'm going to go for a platform. I decided it. I created it. I named it what? Job Skill Share. My job, my skills, and I'm going to share it. So the idea is that tomorrow Sajid may say, I have a job, I have different skills, I'm going to share it. That's where the idea basically came. And that's the name represent basically. Job, skill, share. Simple. Your job, your skills, you're sharing. Okay? And you're learning from others. This is where Job Skill Share basically started. And we started from nothing. My first platform was on PHP. I almost about to crash myself. I'm probably I was blew up my mind because I didn't know nothing about PHP, and now I'm learning a little bit about PHP and stuff like that. I had no clue. So of course, a lot of problems happened and everything, but because of the support that I was getting from you all, at that time we were only teaching free courses, by the way, and we were charging for certificates. Certificate was about $30. The money that I received from people, I hired people to do work for me, and they made a better platform for me. Does that make sense? So till for a long time and almost today, I never relied on a money that Jobs Could Share was making for me. I always bring that money, spend it on developers, and then trainers. And now we are at the position where I have alone just 4,000 plus videos from our trainers. And if you add my videos with it, that's about more than 5,000 videos, 5 to 6,000 videos on our platform. And just alone, this platform have done so much for so many people that our website is full of stories. Army people coming from Afghanistan landing a job. People working in a Armani store landing a job. People working in Best Buy landing a job. I can give you a gazillion amount of stories in this platform, but I don't do this kind of stuff on a daily basis. So maybe I should start doing it. And there you go. I have videos to the free access right there. So now coming back to my whole story, that how did I learn all this stuff? To be honest, none of that came. 90% of that didn't came from books. 90% of this, it didn't came from these DVDs, by the way. I was never interested in sitting down and learning everything from A to Z. I'm not like that. I'm not like that kind of person. I don't know. It's just that's me. Like I can't do A to Z kind of stuff. Most of my skills came from teaching. That might shock some people, right? Most of my skills came from teaching. I teach one day, I learn from a question. I teach another day, I learn from a second question. I teach another day, I learn from a third question. I teach another day, I learn from a fifth question. Think about this. If I'm doing this for almost 5 years now, 6, 7 years straight, how many times people have asked me questions? And how many times I went back and corrected myself? How many times I went back and learned it before my trainings and stuff like that? Of course, as a trainer, I have to make sure that things are working correctly when I'm training. But I'm not a whiz. I'm not a magician. I'm not even a guru, right? I'm nothing. At this point, I'm just learning from what I've been teaching so far. And of course, me being working in a companies, having clients, working with my brother, all that kind of stuff. I have worked with so many people now that I have grabbed that knowledge from them. That doesn't mean that I became a master of these technology. Meaning I just know a little bit, and I have done a better job of presenting some of the information to the people. This is my story, by the way. And so far, I do not regret it one time that I have not, like I do not regret my decisions, by the way. I'm so happy with the way I've done this. In the beginning, it was really hard. My story is pretty hard. It was not easy because in the middle, I got an accident. 2014, I broke my C4 and I broke my T5, which is spine. And your collarbone is like this. It was broken like this. That's where you could say that I totally gave up on life too, because I could not even walk. I could not even open my mouth. It's simple as that. I could have totally given up on every single thing. But this is where people come back and they give you in return. People send me messages. People send me cards. My employees where I work with, employers that I work with, send me huge amount of cards and say, hey man, this is how much we miss you. So moral of the story is this: people in your life are very important. Sharing information is very important. Learning from people is extremely important. If you keep the information with you, it's wasted. It's only do a good to you, and even it's not going to make a good to you either. If you're not going out there, you're not sharing, you're not going to get a response from people, right? You're not going to learn more. You think that you know a lot, but as soon as you go out in the public, there you go. You don't know much because you were never being in the public. You never had that mentality to share your information with other people, so you never experienced something like that. So my suggestion to you all is this: share whatever you know. Share. Even if you're a brand new person, you got a story. You are a different human being. You're a unique human being. There are many people there. They want to follow exactly what you're doing. Some people may not get my accent. Some people may not like the way I talk. Some people may not like the way I look. There could be many reasons people can reject me, but there could be 10 more reasons people can accept you. I don't care if it's a race or not. I don't give a damn about that. All I care about is that you, as a human being, as a unique human being, can have a lot of followers and you can learn a lot from that. It's not about you teaching, you're becoming some kind of trainer. It's for you yourself. So think about that. I think you said Udemy before. Yes, yes, you're correct, Katie. That's where I started my story, my teaching and everything. So today again, hey, jobskillshare.org is there. Like it's crazy what jobskillshare.org is providing. I could have never done that in Udemy. Do you really think Practice Lab would have partnered with me in Udemy course? How would I do the automation like API kind of stuff? Do you really think test.com would partner with me if I was in Udemy? How would I bring their content in Udemy? Right? Do you really think another big platform that gives me 200 plus courses in this platform would partner with me and give me just 200 courses in Udemy? I mean, are people going crazy? They're not going to do that. They wanted something unique as well. They're not going to give their courses in another platform that already have so many different courses. So this is where things started to work step by step, step by step. This took years, by the way, and we still have a long way to go, long way to go. But I think I'm so happy at this point. If somebody comes to me that I want to start my career in IT, then I'm going to tell them, do you want to do it for free or do you want to do it for paid? Do you want to do it for free? I got a full solution for you. Do you want to do it for paid with more resources? I got a full solution for you. I will not be able to tell a person to go somewhere else because I got a better solution. This is where I wanted to be. That's exactly what my end goal was, and I wanted to transfer these skills, and whatever I'm learning today and tomorrow, I'm going to keep doing it till I die. So if I'm dead, I'm dead. But at this point, I'm sharing everything that I know, and I've shared almost everything that I knew so far. Some of the things I couldn't share so far because I need a flow for it. For example, API stuff, website development from a sysadmin perspective, uh, server maintenance, server administration from a sysadmin perspective. So there's a lot of good stuff that are going to come in this platform. So hopefully you guys like this story. If not, just I don't know. But this is my story, by the way, guys. 10 years worth of information right here. My life of 10 years in YouTube, all in front of you. This is my life right here. I have given a good chunk of my life to YouTube. So it is what it is. And I'm not giving up so far. That's all I have. This is all I have. If somebody wants to know every single thing that I have shared, just go to my YouTube videos. Go check one by one. New to USA finding a job. There you go. New to USA job search part 2. There you go. Sys administrator advice. Tons. 1,100 plus videos. That's my life right there. Okay. So I don't know. Let me go back to the questions now. Let's see. Hi, Danish. This was nice of you. You're sharing your story. Very motivating. Thank you. Thank you so much. Most likely you're doing self. Yeah, the the security job was a security guard job, not a security IT job. That would have been amazing if I had a. Man, I mean, it would be amazing, but then we wouldn't have a job skill share by then. I mean, I think everything has a reason then. Has has any of you worked in IT where you have been screamed at, Oscar? No, but somebody have cried in front of me, and that was like emotional thing. Like and they actually said, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't. I'm like, you don't understand what I'm saying. Let me connect you to a more American accent technician right here. So I had a pretty cool worker. I'm like, bro, you're American. Your accent is pretty good. You can take care of this person. Fine, no problem. Take it. Take the call. So yeah, that's what happened to me. Once, or you could be a student as JSS and BAM experience and confidence before landing a job. There you go. I mean, that's the idea of our platform is now is this: you're going into IT and you're gonna face the same type of problems in your career. So we have built our platform based on that. We're gonna make it easy for you. We're gonna give you all the information that you're gonna need to be able to be successful IT professional. Does that mean every single thing will be shared with you? Do we know everything? No, not at all. In IT, there's nobody in this whole world can say that I know everything about IT. If somebody says that close their platform, get a refund, run from that platform. It's not gonna work. Me and you seems to be ever present. Fiharo, thank you, bro. Seems like you've been following me for a long time. Like one day, Sanju came into that day and he's like, I've been following you for the past 5 years. I'm like, damn, man, connect with me. Let's talk. What did you learn? Lucky you, you have access to the labs. I mean, look, man, access to the lab is an investment. I say this every 1 year. I come here every year and I say, is Danish a scam? So some people will say, I don't know you. I never seen you before, so you may be a scam. And some people may say, no, I think I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna invest in myself. And then I came back after next year. I did this for almost past 5 to 10 years now. So if Danish and JobSkills Share was a scam, then trust me, scammers cannot stay for 10 years. They will lose patience. I do not lose my patience. So there you go. You got to invest in yourself. Labs are investment, 100% investment. Anybody wants to do investment in their IT career? Go for labs. Either you buy it from me, from somebody else, from anybody else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But we are mostly, our platform is designed to teach you these skills. So we utilize these labs. So you buy a lab from somebody else, is going to be focused towards certification. And I just did a meeting with Practice Lab. They tell me their focus is certification. Maybe in future, they may be focusing on skills too, because everybody's going towards skills now. So think about it. The platform that I created 10 years ago with an idea of skills, now Microsoft, a billion, gazillion amount of dollars of companies are going towards that thinking. I'm not saying I'm some kind of, I'm not like being I'm not being, what do you call this? I'm not being arrogant or anything. I'm just saying that, look, 10 years ago, we have an idea about skills, sharing IT skills, role-based, title-based courses. And now exactly what Cisco is doing, Microsoft is doing. They're doing that. And it will be a few more months. Watch, they're going to start talking about skills now. So I'm happy. I'm happy. So, okay, are you looking for a job? Okay, so you guys are doing a back and forth questions. Okay. All right. So now, I did not know you spoke. But yeah, man, I speak Pashto, bro. I speak Pashto. I speak Urdu. I'm a I'm a full Pashtun. Pashtun. That's what I say. Pashtun. Singa chal raha TikTok akhi. When I worked as a field tag, a lady cried. She ran by us dead. Yep. So that's my story, and these are all the education. So answering Sajib, I started teaching in one of the institute, but I left it probably the third day, because when I looked at their information that I need to teach, I was like, okay, what are you guys teaching? Oh, you guys are teaching A plus, IPv4. I'm like, all that kind of stuff is pretty cool, but why is this all text like this? Like, am I gonna go through all this stuff like by this method? I was like, I'm out. Thank you. The next day, I send a message that I can't take it because I got some issues with this type of learning, but teaching. But again, I mean, I wasn't that, thing. But this is a good book that I started to do in my college, installing and configuring Windows Server 2012. You still have that in your practice lab, by the way. It's still valid. Every single thing in this book is still valid. If you are going to become a sysadmin, then yeah. When it comes to server education, then I do go by kind of like these books then. Yes, that's like you got to look at where you are going to learn more skills. Are you going to learn it from some channel, or are you going to have some book that specifically talk about DHCP, DNS, Active Directory organization units, all of that stuff? So this is what I did also in my career. And before that book, Windows Server 2008 Active Directory configuration. Okay. This is a lab manual that I took. And let me see what else I have. Oh, look at this, group policy. I think I should just, okay. Steven, are you there? I want to ask some people like that who have more knowledge about content sharing, like content legality. Is anybody there out there? If TransSignal is no longer existed, this company no longer exists, can I upload this on YouTube? Would that be legal? I have a question for people. Or Pluralsight took the rights and now we rely on Pluralsight? Because Pluralsight bought TransSignal, right? I don't know. I mean, how does that work? Because I had a little trouble finding good information about it. But to be honest, man, I got so many good TransSignal videos. If I put this online, this can do some magic. Why? Because these are pretty lengthy courses on group policy, and that's still exactly the same thing. There's not a big difference. Site and services. If you want to learn about IIS, ooh, this is a good one. I don't know if you can do it, by the way. I think it's going to be legal, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's probably not going to be, but the company does not exist anymore. I don't know how that works then. Like, none of this stuff exists. Oh, look, I got a Career Academy DVD. What are they teaching? Anyways. It's just funny that I was a student of my partners at one time. Can you believe that? Now the partners that I have, I was a student of their content at one point. So, I mean, to be honest, my story is basically, I'm not a guru, I'm not anybody, I'm nothing. But there are a lot of people that follow me, and then they've learned from me. And I feel like if they think that they can achieve something from my life, I have done a lot of different things in my life. Not just landing an IT job. I have done more than landing an IT job. I'm managing a whole business right now. I have 2 developers, 7 instructors. And while I'm doing my other jobs as a sysadmin stuff. So I'm doing a lot. So people can learn a lot from me, not just in terms of IT. People can say, hey, I want to open my own business as an IT company. I want to do my own stuff. Talk to me. I'll tell you exactly what I do. I may even help you. I may even give you services. Hey, it's business. That's how people work. We work together. But you were once the learner, now I'm the master. Ah, no, man, I will never be a master. And there's no master in IT. I'm very, to be honest, I'm only, there are a few things that I'm just doing it the way I have done it, but there's so many areas that I don't know. It's just amazing. Good evening, Danish. Another greeting from Switzerland, hoping to tag along uh, as it's approaching 23 hours here. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much, bro. We have still a few more hours, and I have actually a mock interview setup, which Haifa is going to be doing one day too, with another member. Her name is Leila. In 30 minutes, I'm going to be calling her. Mock interview, mock interview. So it's not going to be live, but I'm going to be like presenting myself as like an HR. So Haifa, I hope you're ready for this kind of stuff. Yeah. So what else? Anyways, if you guys are interested in the free training, go to this. Let me share it. JobSkillshare free. If you're interested in free training, then just go in there. If you are following these sessions or you're a student, you can get access to the first course for free, full course. But still, like even the first 40% of that course is very powerful. But then all these courses are free on the bottom. These are very powerful courses. All the way down, then we have KevTech in there. KevTech is another YouTuber. It's very exactly the same way he teaches the same stuff. Awesome guy. Then we have Kuboman. We have Steven. Steven is going to open his channel soon. Then these are the people that are kind of like will guide you pretty good. But if you feel like, okay, you know what, I really need something more hands-on, then go for our membership. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. It's no more videos kind of stuff. It's more hands-on stuff. You get labs access. You get to do things. So yeah, so if you wanna know what we're doing new now, let me show you what we're doing new. Let me show you now. Log in. So register with JobSkillshare account. Get a membership if you wanna do the more hands-on stuff, and I'll show you what we are doing now. Like I said, the free stuff is awesome, but of course, paid is even more targeted. So when you log in now into our website, you're going to see a new portal like this. We're still cleaning it up a little bit, but once you log in and you become a member, you can click on the dashboard right here. And when you click on the dashboard, this is where we give you full access to Practice Lab. You get all these access to Cisco, the new certification, T-Shoot, and like I say, we're not focusing too much on certification, but since these are real equipments, real routers, real switches, real servers, 2016, 2012, security stuff, all real stuff. So then you can learn anything from outside, any YouTube video, any book or stuff. Just come and open up your lab. You have 1 year access and spin it and just work on it. This is exactly the new way. So I'm not relying on these DVDs, by the way, anymore. I don't want to open these things. Right now, the current method of learning is online, and the easy way and the more practical way is also online. So online labs, right? So I come over here, I basically access the lab from here, click on it, and then it takes me to the practice lab environment, and I use my username and password, and boom, I'm on it. So then if you want to come back and you want to do a learning path, this is where we made it easy for people, because the portal is kind of like more of a targeted. It's more of like, you know, you want to go step by step, right? You're a brand new person and you want to start something from scratch. Then you're going to come on the learn IT. You have three options: learn IT, practice IT, work IT. So if you come on learn IT, you can see this learning path right here. Click on learning path. And it tells you exactly, it says right there, IT support technicians, entry level, no IT job experience, or looking for your IT first course. So this should be your first step. If you're a brand new person or you want to enhance your skills and you only have A plus knowledge or you don't have A plus knowledge, or you're coming from anywhere in the world, you're transitioning from any other career, this would be your first step. So we're offering two options right now. One is to enroll in a live training, which is more of like what Haifa did. She's in the chat right now. And many other people have done that. Live training is more like we're guiding you. We're giving you all that time and everything. So of course you're in a very good position right now because a lot of stressful things are going to get cleared like that way. But if you don't want to invest that kind of money, then you can go for the self-paced training. You click on the self-paced training, and then here you go. You got step one, ITV Fundamental V1.0, which you saw in the free course too. This is a very powerful course, okay? Very powerful in a way that it's gonna teach you everything from scratch, everything from scratch. And then when you start from this course, it takes you to step two. So you see it gets more technical, 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 technical. And then it gets to the current and modern type of things like other things like ticketing system, Active Directory, Office 365, all that stuff. When you finish it, then you can consider yourself level one or even level two technician. Level two is not going to be easy to say that because you have to actually work in an environment and you got to get that confidence and everything. So I would say level one in the beginning. Level two, career development. For level two, this is a career development right here because you get to see so many different things from the labs that you haven't seen in your job. That's what I would say. Now that's where we are right now. Of course, we have way more than just learning path. We got 4,000 plus videos for any level. So if you come over here, we're creating lab videos. So if you click on find lab video and you want to learn something, let's say for example, domain. You want to learn about domain controller, stuff like that. Boom, you just enter domain and you got tons of videos. Install a replica of a domain controller. Now you're not going to see that as a level one and level two. You're going to become a sysadmin and then you're going to start touching these things, right? You're going to create install Active Directory domain services easy. Some of the advanced stuff right here, you're going to see all of that advanced stuff in domain stuff, trust, self-sign certificate. Create a GPO for trusted root CA. Now you're never going to see that kind of stuff in level one or IT basic trainings, right? So that's how our platform is being utilized. Of course, it's way more than that. So if you feel like you're confused in our platform, you have two options. Come click on WhatsApp. It's going to go straight to our numbers. If you click on contact us, you can send us a message and hey, this is where I am. How can your platform help me? If we cannot help you, we will not let you come and buy our membership. We'll tell you that this is not our platform. Don't waste your money. If we think that we have the ability to help you, we'll say, go invest your money. There's no left and right kind of thing. And if we say that, okay, I want to get some free stuff, full content for free, that link that I shared before, we have done that. Our YouTube channel has more than 1,000 videos available. So that's it for today. And thank you for listening to my boring story. I hope it helps somebody. Thank you for being always there. This is a community at the same time. So we're still going to be doing a lot on the YouTube, a lot over here too. So I hope this grows. I hope we keep helping each other. And I'm going to go and take a rest and get ready for the mock interview that I have with my member. Thank you so much, people. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Haifa, and everybody else. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.